This is Steve from Boxing UK. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Xavier Miller. How are you, Xavier? 2 weeks just settled?
It's been non-stop since I got back. Non-stop.
Been absolutely battered.
It's just been busy. I mean, I haven't stopped. I mean, just obviously I've got a gym to run, so I had to get my fighters back in the gym, sparring and so on, catch up with everybody. So catch up with my family, of course. That was my priority. So yeah, it's just been busy.
Right. First question before we obviously go on to the obvious stuff. When you joined Dillian, Xavier, a lot of people were describing you as unknown or lesser known. But we were talking earlier, obviously you've got the knees done. I can remember you being in Derek's corner against Dillian with Don Charles. Did that annoy you slightly, that people just thought that you were some guy that had just been drafted in from nowhere?
I actually thought it was funny. But, I mean, if you're not actually deep into boxing, then why would you need to know who I am? I mean, that's an industry conversation, really. I mean, I've been in so many corners, so many well-known fighters that it's just second nature to me. So, yeah, I thought it was funny at first, but after a while, it's like, well, you had questions before, but you know who I am now.
Can we fast forward to fight camp? Even before the ring, what was it like in there? Because Dillian did something very different with his Winnebago, didn't he? What was that actually like?
It was trying to do. You mean that you're talking about the actual arrival at fight camp or the day of the fight?
The actual arrival and the 2 or 3 days in the build-up.
Yeah, listen. It was for me. I can be comfortable anywhere because I do the same thing. I'm always in my room watching boxing, or with my headphones on watching I'm listening to music. So, we got there, got tested. I went straight to my room. Hardly even saw anybody to see at first, and came out a little bit later to train. We gave them a late training session, and then everybody's just there. Everyone from Sky, Matchroom, and they all knew I was anyway. So, but they know I'm not really. I'm just a quite a quiet guy. So I just get on. We trained him, and then went back to my room.
Were you able to keep an eye on Dillian over those few days? Was he chilled? Was he okay?
Dillian's always chilled. As I said, Dillian is what you call as advertised. The way he is on TV, it's the way he is in real life. It's this one thing about that guy is very, very real. That's just his character's personality. That's just the way he is. His body trains like a deep trains really, really hard, and then when he's not training, funny guy.
And he was in absolutely brilliant shape, wasn't he? He'd lost a lot of weight since the Saudi performance, where he got criticised in certain quarters for that. On the actual day of the fight, Xavier, as a trainer and as a team, are you supremely confident?
I'm always confident, especially if I'm the one that's been actually in a training camp. Then I'm really confident. If I've been heavily involved, or I'm leading the training camp, or I'm the head coach, and things are going the way I want them to go, then yeah, I'm always really confident. Always really confident. So we trained well. We had a long time to train. I know the dates kept changing, but we were doing what a training team's supposed to do, and a boxer's supposed to do. A boxer's supposed to be in the gym training. You take it up when you've got a certain amount of weeks left to go to fight. That's when you take up your training, but you're supposed to be in the gym. So, we're just living day to day.
And obviously on fight night, you have a game plan and everything. If everything was perfectly executed, were you expecting a short night? Were you expecting a long night?
To be honest with you, me, I'm a round by round kind of guy. I don't like to look too far ahead.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing the right things and you're winning rounds, I'm happy. And we were doing a very good job. So, I was happy during the fight, no doubt.
Can I ask you about the first 3 rounds?
First 3, yeah.
Yeah. they were the 3 rounds. You know, the first round was more a feel-out round. Dillian started to seem to take control. Were you all right in the corner? Was there any alarm bells ringing of what Povetkin was capable of, or were you quite confident cruising?
No, I think both. I think both guys worked well to the body. The fight was just warming up. I think it took Dillian a round to settle. Once he settled down, his jab was really, really effective. I think that was the main difference between the two. And Dillian's body work was crisp and clean. Definitely having an effect on Povetkin. And, things were going the way they're supposed to go. So, yeah, at that point, I was obviously, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. We're getting the job done.
And then that 4th round, everything seemed to, all the cards seemed to fall in Dillian's favour with the 2 knockdowns. It's hard, I suppose, as a trainer, you've always got that caution, but did you think that was it?
No. The 2 times Povetkin went down, I've been around so long that I know when someone is genuinely hurt. And I think he was a bit more hurt the second time than the first time, but still, he looked sturdy, looked ready to go, eyes were clear. He just looked like he used the experience. He went down, got up composed, and was ready to continue. So I'm not thinking that he's ready to go yet. We'll just keep doing what we're doing, and Dillian was doing a fantastic job. Credit to him.
And there were some distress signals, wasn't there, from Povetkin? He was looking at his corner. He complained about a body shot that he thought was south of the border. Does that all?
Yeah, the body shots. Yeah, the body shots. I mean, they were physically shaking Povetkin at times. I mean, we worked really hard on it. Dillian Dillian worked really hard on body work, and Dillian's always been a good body puncher.
Yeah.
And listen, everything Dillian was doing what he was supposed to be doing. He's been in with that caliber of fighter before, so we know Dillian's good enough. And Dillian was starting to show some separation as the fight was going on. Things are going really well.
So what does a trainer say to a fight, Xavier, at the end of that 4th round, going into the 5th round?
I say the same thing to all my fighters. If we're on top, keep doing what you're doing. What a lot of guys do. Sometimes you don't have to say too much, especially when things are going your way. Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys like to speak because they just want to be heard. I'm not one of them kind of people. As far as I'm concerned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're doing what we need to do. We're getting the job done. And I was happy where we were. Just keep doing what we're doing, and that's it. That's the story of the corner. And yeah, we were all watching the fight. We were watching it unfold. Dillian was doing good work, boxing well. I thought Dillian's a good box fighter, always has been. And yeah, everything was going to plan.
Was there any temptation to get Dillian to jump straight on Povetkin after that? To come out firing in the 5th round?
Not from my end, no. If and he was slightly wobbling or looked unsteady on his legs, definitely 100%. Let's go. Povetkin did not look like that. In my experience, you do not jump on a fighter who is very good mid-range up close. You don't take those kind of gambles, unnecessary gambles. Now, if we were behind the fight and it's late in the fight and we've got to go out swinging, that's a different scenario. Not when you basically won every round and you've been credited 2 knockdowns. So, like I said, I've heard a lot of talk about people saying, yeah, jump on him. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Some guys have benefited from doing it before. Other guys have come unstuck, got themselves in trouble. So, like I said, it's very easy to make these sort of claims and suggestions when you're not the one that's actually in the spotlight doing your job.
Absolutely. And you're right, there was an awful lot of people that said that, but the first example that springs to mind to disprove that theory would be Joshua against Andy Ruiz in the first fight. where he had Ruiz hurt, jumped on him and paid the price.
I mean, we can go a lot further back than that. I mean, Tommy Hearns was absolutely destroying Iron Barkley in the first fight. He was breaking him up with body shots. He was in pieces, Barkley, and Hearns got a little bit too close. Barkley took a gamble and landed, and that was the end of the fight. It's happened throughout history. So, boxing, self-preservation first. It's your job to look after yourself, and that's why I didn't, suggest jumping. It's to me that's not that wouldn't be a calculated move in my mind where I had to do something like that. But no, I didn't think I'd do anything like that. Yeah.
Can we talk about the knockout, Xavier, as hard as it might be?
No, definitely. Sorry, hold on one second. I just need to open the door.
Yeah. Just saying, can we talk about the knockdown, as difficult as it might be, Xavier? First question, when that shot landed, did you know that was it?
Sorry, say again?
That's all right. When the shot landed on Dillian, do you know instantly as a trainer, that's it?
To be honest with you, it was such a shock. That's not the first thing that went through my mind. The first thing that went through our mind was, what's happened?
Yeah.
You don't expect to be in that sort of situation when you just got 2 knockdowns and the fight's going your way. That's the last thing that anybody's thinking is going to happen. That's the very last thing. And we were all, I think everyone was just shocked. Because there's no crowd, obviously you've got just the Matchroom staff there, Sky. Everybody just went quiet. And you could feel the silence. Normally when you're in an arena, it's a lot of noise and people are, obviously excited about the fight and they want the drama. But it didn't feel like that. It just felt like a silence. And I think everybody was in the same position as me. They were just like, how did this happen? It was that quick. Was the shot? Sorry, one second. I just need to lock the gym door. One second.
Yeah, the shock, Xavier. Was it as big of a shock because Dillian was essentially cruising the fight, or was it the actual shot coming from nowhere that was the shock? Because it wasn't a lucky punch, was it?
No, I think the shock was, it's the last thing you would expect from where we were. That's what it was. If it was a really, really close fight and, like a brutal fight where they're trading back and forth, then not so much. But because of where we were, it was like, how did we get here? That's what it felt like. It was like, wow. And then, listen, as soon as the fight finished and, Dillian was already talking about a rematch with Eddie Hearn within minutes. Yeah. That's the kind of character he is. And, we got our wish and we'll get a chance to, get revenge.
Absolutely. Every man and his dogs had the post-mortem, but is there anything you can do about what happened, Xavier, or is it just one of those things? Yeah,
listen, we were doing a very, very good job. We had a really good training camp. As I've said in so many interviews already, I was happy with everything.
Yeah.
I was happy with the training camp. I was happy with the sparring. I was happy with the corner on the day. There's nothing, no complaints from my side. Obviously, we've done a really good job. And it was just one punch. But we've lost the fight, which means that we need to make some slight adjustments. Obviously, I won't be going into detail about any of those things, but, in this game, you have to be realistic. Yes, we've had all the praise that Dillian was looking really, really, really good. But at the end of the day, it's a results business. We didn't get the result we wanted. We got the rematch, and we'll make the necessary adjustments.
And you're definitely with Dillian for the rematch, Xavier?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I love these conversations. There's some of these posts and these conversations about trainers and so on and so forth. Listen, when you make changes, it takes time. Dillian has improved in quite a few areas, and obviously the talk would have been about all those things if the fight had gone the way we had expected.
Yeah.
If that shot hadn't landed, people would be talking about how great he looked in that fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, people are going to nitpick now about things, little things here and there, because of how the fight turned out. You have to have the character to deal with these things. You have to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. I expect some negativity. Even if Dillian had done a perfect job and he won the fight, there would have been some negativity anyway. This is part of the job. This is what people do. We're here to do our job, train fighters. Dillian's job is to fight. And there's people out there, obviously, they're there to critique. Everyone's got a role. And, everyone plays the role they want to play. I was built to do what I'm doing. So it doesn't matter what's thrown at me. I can deal with it.
Can I ask you about a couple of the more high-profile critiques, Xavier? More of Dillian. It didn't take the likes of Andy Ruiz and Frank Warren long to pop out videos. Just your thoughts on, not those two individuals themselves, but just your thoughts on the critics that came out almost celebrating Dillian's downfall.
Honestly, it's just part of the game. These guys, these high-profile guys, they go back and forth with each other all the time. It's part of boxing. It's not the nicest part of the sport, but it is part of it. As I say, you've got to take the good with the good. Dillian's had a lot of praise for the last few years. He's put on some really, really good performances, and that's just life. I always say I judge a fighter on character. Dillian's just a warrior. He wants to fight everybody, and he is who he says he is. I just like him as a person, as a fighter. He's a real one, and he can handle it. I mean, he's a pay-per-view fighter. I mean, all the distractions that people talk about, it might affect them. It won't affect someone like him. And when it's fight time, he's locked in. So, and I think in some ways, Dillian is so not everybody is built for that stage.
Yeah.
And Dillian's obviously proved that he is, and he goes back and forth with people, and they go back and forth with him, and it's boxing.
Indeed. Just a couple more, Xavier. Between now and December, I'm assuming the rematch is penciled in for December still. What will happen with
No, I think it's penciled in for November.
Right? Even better. What would the plans be between now and November regarding just Team Dillian?
Oh, no, we're all going to be... I mean, training camp's already underway. I'm flying out sometime this week, and I'll be there for the duration of the whole camp, apart from when Pes is fighting. And yeah, we're going to just go back to work. Training camp is training camp.
And yourself, we'll end with yourself, Xavier. What's happening for you? Because you've got obviously other boxers with some title fights coming up.
Yeah, I've got a lot going on at the moment. I've got about 6 guys that I train. K Prosper's looking to get his British title shot, which he's earned the right to get that. I mean, he's won his English title, defended his English title. Hopefully these guys don't duck him. He'll get his chance.
Yeah.
Yusuf Kamari, again, he should already be an English champion. Didn't get decision against Liam Dillon in a great fight, which he at least 7 rounds to 3. But he's now managed by Dillian, so he'll get his opportunity on Sky. Hope if not November, December, then probably sometime next year. But he's looking better and better all the time. I've got Dennis Wahome, who's going to be fighting for an English title soon as well. I've got Yasser Alguina, welterweight. Or I want him to go down to super lightweight. He's 5-0. I've also got Adrian Redmond, super middleweight. He's 5-0. So I've got a stable that's building, and You know, they're all ready for the step up, and I'm looking forward to next year. You know, this year's been good. You know, it's been up and down because of the pandemic and so on and so forth, and you know, but we've made the best of it. Again, smart move by Dillian, training out in Portugal, managed to get a full camp out there. So we made the best of a bad situation, and I think that's what we're going to do here with this rematch. We're going to make something good out of this obstacle we just had to deal with a couple of weeks ago, and come good in the rematch.
That's great to hear you, mate. And now your name's out there, Xavier. Any added pressure?
Absolutely not. I mean, to be honest with you, every single fight feels the same. It doesn't matter if it's in York Hall, O2. They all feel the same. You know, I spent my whole life doing this, so, and I don't get nerves. When it comes to the boxing. It's more excitement. I like leaving the changing room and walking to the ring. Yeah, that's exciting. But once I actually get in the ring, it's just business for me.
Yeah.
It's all business. You know, that part is entertainment. Once I get in the ring, it's business, and nothing else matters. I can't hear anybody. The only voice I really hear is the other head coach that's always working me in the corner, which is Nick. You know, he's the other owner of IQ Boxing. But everything else is just zoned out for me. I'm just concentrating on my boxer, and it's always been like that. Even when I was coaching in the amateurs, you know, I'm focused on my job. Every fight they feel the same to me. I don't know why some people say it. You know, they ask me, you know, what's it like up there? It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's no difference. You know, people get caught up in the glamour and the lights and stuff like that. Like I said, I suppose it depends on your personality. Me, you know, once the job's done, I completely switched off. I switch off. I'd rather go straight to my room and go to sleep or go and watch TV than be in the crowd mingling. It's just not me. I like peace and quiet. You know, I've always been like that. So I love boxing. Whether it's watching it on TV or being in the ring in the corner. You know, I used to love sparring. Anything to do with boxing, you know, it's just my world. So yeah, it's just being here was always in my as I said, this is what everybody expected, because you know they know I've done things the right way, so they expected me to be here. People who say some people say they didn't know who I was before. You know who I am now. So what they'll do is go on to the next person who's involved in a high profile fight who they haven't heard of before. They'll go at them next. So you know, that's the way the world works.
It is. You've had your 15 minutes of infamy, if nothing else, Xavier.
But it's been a pleasure. Like I said, again, you have to do these interviews. You know, whether you win, whether you lose. You know, all high-profile coaches have had to deal with wins and losses. All of them. So, you know, we'll get him next time.
Good man. Well, can I wish you all the best with all your fighters?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
And I hope to speak to you very soon. Not just in regards to Dillian, but I hope to speak to you soon in regards to some titles coming back to Neasden.
Listen, anytime.
You're a star. Xavier Miller, thank you very much for your time. Take care.
Take care. Bye.